Good morning. Hope everyone can hear me. I hope you're there, Todd. Looking to start the 4N Networking TV live session at 8:30. So just waiting for people to come online and see what's happening. At least it's stopped raining. Okay, it's 8:30. Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Saunders from Action Coach, and thank you for joining me on 4N TV Live this morning. I hope you had a great week this week and are looking forward to the weekend. Certainly enjoyed last night's Mo Farah race. It's a fantastic race, and many congratulations to Mo. What a superstar he is. It's fantastic. Okay, we're going now to start the 40 words round. Instead of 40 seconds, you can send me up to 40 words as a Facebook comment. This can be a brief sales pitch about you and your business, which everyone tuned in will be able to see. I won't be able to read them all out, but I'll try to pick out a few comments and a tip for the future weeks. Please prepare this ahead of time and then paste in as a comment as each is shown. So, looking for the first ones to come in. I'll start, so while you're typing your 40 words in, as I've got sound here, here's my 40-second pitch. So, good morning everyone again. I'm Steve Saunders, a local business coach with Action Coach, and I work with fellow business owners in North Hertfordshire, helping them to make better use of their time, team, and make more money. My ideal clients fall into three main categories: business owners that are looking to grow and be better, those who are looking to have more of a return on their efforts, and family businesses who want to create a succession plan with various different programs, from our quarterly planning club right up to weekly one-to-one coaching. So I know that we can help any business person who's looking to move forward. To find out more, please do get in touch. So that's Steve Saunders, coaching, not just for sports. Thank you. Okay, I can't see any of the people coming in with any actual 40 seconds. I know there's 2 people online. Let's just have a look. No, swipe left. One live viewer. Okay, let's carry on, and we'll get moving, and let's get looking into the foresight that I've got prepared today, and if the others come through, then that'll be great. Okie dokie. Right, let's get moving. So, my foresight is entitled "Wonder Why You Click." Luckily, for those that are computer literate, it's unfortunately for you, it's nothing to do with computers. For people that aren't so keen on computers, it's good news for you because it isn't anything to do with computers. So have you ever wondered why some people just don't seem to be on your wavelength? If you knew how to connect with more people and create better relationships, would this be of interest to you? Do you think you'd be more successful? I think the answer to these questions would be yes. It certainly was for me. And what we've worked with here at Action Coach is understanding DISC. So DISC is a profiling system for behavioural profiles that really helps to make you make better connections and better relationships with all the people that you meet. It originated in 1920s from a Harvard University psychologist called Dr. William Moulton Marston. So it's quite an old setup for like all these good ideas. It comes from the past. Nothing's too new. But DISC is not an assessment. It's not a test. It's more of a communication tool. So there are no right or wrong styles, just different styles. Okay. So what we've got really, how it works on the DISC, we've got a vertical axis. And that vertical axis, at the top of the vertical axis, people are determined by whether they are more or less outgoing. Then at the bottom of the vertical axis, people are more reserved and quieter and a bit more cautious when, certainly in a bigger group. Then it also throws in a horizontal axis. And on the horizontal axis, at one side of the axis, you've got people that are very task orientated, and then the other axis, you've got people that are very people orientated. So that gives you outgoing, reserved, task, and people. Now I've drawn this up on a flip chart just to help you make sense of it. Just turn it over for you. There, so hopefully you can see at the top of the chart you've got outgoing, and the bottom is more reserved, and then you've got task orientated and people orientated people. And what we can categorize, or can help to categorize, we can put things into people can categorize themselves or get categorized into different boxes, if you like. So the D box up the top there, so the D, people are very outgoing and very task orientated, which means usually they're very fast paced, probably impatient, very task based, focus driven, kind of jobs that they might be doing. Quite a lot of MDs perhaps fall into this bracket. If you know of anyone in the corporate world, certainly one of my old bosses was certainly a very high D. Then we're probably looking at army sergeant majors. That would be a really good one. Very outgoing but very task driven. So that would be an archetypal D profile. The I people are very outgoing, but they are more people focused. So on the I side, certainly people would be considering and wondering how they are making other people feel. So they're not very they don't like conflict. They want to avoid conflict usually at pretty much any cost, and they'll be very open and very outgoing and very talkative. So they're the I's. Then dropping down onto the S's. S's are still very people orientated, but they're more reserved. So people that are perhaps an S you're looking to build up relationships on a slower basis. It's a lot slower, and it will take a little bit longer before people get to know you. But once they get to know you, then fine, happy days, and no problem at all. C's are more reserved and very task orientated. So they're looking at facts and figures. Kind of jobs would be probably looking at for those guys would be possibly accountants, probably scientists doing research, so they're doing test after test. I live in Little Wymerley, and it's just down from the road is Stevenage with GlaxoSmithKline Wellcome, and there's a massive big building there, and it's got plenty of scientists in there, all busy beavering away on their task, not considering really about the other people in the office, or they probably want to be in an office on their own. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the four types of disc personality profiles. So you've got D's, I's, S's and C's. How do you spot these people? It's a good question. Really, we're looking at simple as a greeting, really, either on the phone or face to face. Certainly, if it was on the face to face, a D would probably give you a massive big handshake, be very bold and right in your face. Bang! Hello, my name's Steve Saunders. Crunching handshake, and they'll burst into the room and pretty much want everyone to notice them. I's would be looking at a good one for an I on the telephone would be when you phone someone and say, well, how are you? Usually in this country we just want people to say, yeah, I'm fine, thanks, and move on with the conversation and get to the point why you're actually ringing someone. But with an I, they would actually say, oh yeah, I'm very well, Steve, thank you very much. Yeah, what I was doing was this, and the last night I did this, and the Monday I did this, and da-da-da-da-da. So they're very, very, very talkative. So from that respect, a simple hello, how are you will give you a bit of more information as to what kind of profile someone may be, because probably the C's and the S's certainly would give you a briefer introduction, a briefer conversation to start with, for sure. Also, other tips you could look for, certainly in people's offices. D's would probably have in their office lots of photographs, but the photographs would be with them and other people, such as a politician or a super sports star, or if they were into fishing, they'd have a picture with a massive big fish, the biggest fish they've ever caught. They're really looking at showing to the world how successful they are, how important I am. Look at me kind of thing, really. I's would probably have a lot more pictures of their family, so they'd certainly have their family, if they've got a family, their wife, their partner, and any children that they may have. There'd certainly be lots of those around. S's probably have a little bit, probably one or two maybe if you're lucky. C's would probably keep a picture of their wife perhaps in a drawer, and then if she did appear, the wife or partner appeared at the office, perhaps bring it out of a drawer and pop it back up, pop it up on a place where she could see it. So that gives you a little bit of an idea. So if you're certainly going in to see people and you're meeting people in offices, have a look and check out their offices and see what's going on. Have a little bit, be aware of what's around you. That will give you the typical clues. Certainly we've mentioned typical types of jobs. So for D's, probably we're looking at quick decision making people, really. We're probably managers or MDs, people that are used to making decisions, and they're not afraid of a little bit of conflict from time to time. I's would be usually tend to be fantastic salespeople, because they're keen to get out and talk to folk. C's really could be accountants or scientists, and S's are great because they get the work done. So they'll be busy working around. I know they're kind of, it's a little bit out of date now, but they're kind of Kofi Annan guys that will be smoothing things over and working their way in the office. So really you do need a good selection of all four business type or profiles, personality profiles, to have a successful business. Too many of all one type, and you tend not to get so much done. because the I's, for instance, would be talking about things and, well, let's have a meeting, let's talk about it. The D's are just looking to make a decision and then get in and make another decision, and, well, who's actually going to do the work? Where the S's and C's will be quite happy to do the work and get on with their work. Another area really I'd like to just sort of share with you really is on the how you can tell what type of person they are. Profile that the person you're dealing with has got is any purchasing habits, if they're buying things. Certainly if you're looking to give high D's and high I's a manual or a brochure to look at, they definitely won't read it. I know we do a 30 report for our clients where a test comes back or a questionnaire is sent out, and the results of the questionnaire come back, and pretty much it's a 37-page document, so you can probably tell which behavioural characteristic someone is when they kind of see the document. You pass it over and I will go, what am I? Oh, am I? Thanks very much, Steve. What's the next thing we're going to be talking about? Whereas C's and probably some S's will be looking and saying, well, actually, what's this on page 14.421? What's this, Steve? Can you tell me a little bit more about this? So you've just got to be careful of that. So that'd be a good clue. If you've got manuals, contracts, anyone that's looking to skip through it, not really that interested in reading all the information, they're probably more likely to be the D's and I's rather than the S's and the C's. So that would be a good clue for you, really. Anything, the other kind of area that I'd like to talk about really is building if you can find out what these people are, that's great. But often we have there's always people say about a golden rule, there being a golden rule. Well, the golden rule is really treat people how you'd like to be treated yourself. So please, thank you, open doors, treat people how you would want to be treated. Well, actually, this is not really strictly true, because you want to be treating people how they want to be treated. So we'll call this on the disc profiling a platinum rule, so that we're treating people how they would want to be treated, not how you want to be treated. And I'll give you for instance, if you know you're talking to a high D, you need to be moving your conversation faster, making it more fast-paced, and talking perhaps louder, but certainly get to the point quickly. Don't ramble on, because they'll soon lose patience. So if you want to build rapport with them, then that's what you need to do. So you need to be more like they are. Reversely, if you're talking to, say, perhaps a C, someone who's very calm and more reserved, they tend to think longer, take their time to answer, possibly speak slower and more quietly. So you do need to listen quietly to what they're saying. If you go in bang, 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 really loud, really bold, all over a C, are you going to be building rapport? I don't think so. So try to be more like the person you are talking to. Don't think of the golden rule. Forget the golden rule. The platinum rule is treat people how you would like to be, how they would like to be treated, not how you would be treated. And if you do that, I'm sure you'll be able to get better communication and better results and better relationships, and your business will be booming. So thank you very much for that listening. That concludes my presentation, my foresight. And we're looking to go into getting on to wrap up the meeting. So we're looking at finishing off. Oh, hang on a sec, we're slightly over. Just 1 second. Yeah. So could we, on our personality types, going back, sorry, I've just got a little bit of time, I can get back into a little bit more. On our profile questionnaires that come back, we've got two sections really. One section is at home, so this is your behaviour at home, and then the other section is this is your behaviour in the office. So if they were congruent, they were pretty similar, there'd probably be less stress in your life. But certainly if you were a high, say at work, you felt you needed to be a different type of person, so you were pushing the boundaries of who you are, it certainly caused quite a lot more stress and a lot more strain and stress on you as a person, really. So certainly that if you can be more, and I know people can be various different shades of person as the area that the environment they're in dictates, but certainly on the side of being like people and trying to get to them, just be a bit more like them as you can be. So for instance, I run a monthly seminar, and interestingly a hotel manageress once said she came along to my seminar, then came to the seminar. At the end of the seminar, a bit of feedback. She said, "Gee, Steve, I just didn't know you were like that. When you come into my hotel, you come in, you're quiet, you sit down, you order a cup of coffee, you have a meeting, then you go out, and kind of really don't really say boo to a goose, really." I said, "Well, that's why would I really?" Whereas she was comparing me to the seminar version, where certainly you need to be bigger, louder, a bit more open, putting on a show, really. So why would I wander into the seminar room, tiptoe into the seminar room, not being very persuasive, not being very brash and bold? No one really would be listening. They'd all be switched off, and it would be very, very possibly a very, very boring presentation. So luckily you can move as a person, you can change within the categories. So I'm not saying that you're staying in these boxes, the D, I, C and S's. You don't stay in there, you can move across, and you can be more D and more I, or more S and more C, depending on the activity and the environment that you're in. So certainly you're looking to be a little bit more, again, with the platinum rule, step things up to build rapport. So certainly if you're going to be looking at getting better rapport with people, you need to be more like them and stretching your boundaries. So remember the environment that you're in, try to match those people. That will certainly give you a much better chance of building rapport. Thank you. So anyone thinking of with that in mind, really, it springs to my thoughts of actors would be really interesting. I know I often watch Graham Norton on a Friday night, and some of the guests on there are fantastic. For instance, my favourite probably is Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks, he kind of seems to be pretty similar character. He's a superb actor, but he's also got a lot about him in the interview rooms, whereas he seems to be able to be doing his interview with Graham Norton, and he'll be a super guy, and then he's got all these different roles he's played. Reversely, someone like Johnny Depp, I think he was on the show once, and he was terrible. He's really dull as dishwater, unfortunately for him, and yet he played all these fantastic characters as an actor. So certainly he'll be putting on an act and being told to write, well, this is the role you are, and then in real life is something different. So that's quite an interesting thought, really. So if you're trying to be something you're not, I'm not saying that, you're just trying to be something more of in your own area. So that's the kind of field of the disc profiling, and be aware of your level of outgoingness, if you like, and reservedness, and your people and task orientatedness. So that's where you need to be. So you can move across up and down the scale, and left and right horizontally along the scale, depending on your environment. If you are trying to be someone you're probably not, it might be okay for an acting role, for a seminar, for whatever, for 2.5 hours, or an hour presentation, then that would be fine. But to continually do that, I think there would be a very could be a big strain on what's going on. So cool. Okay, brilliant. Well, I think that's now running up to the time that we've got to finish off with the session this morning. So my time is just about up, I think. Thank you for watching my foresight. It's great to see all the comments coming in. I've not had a chance to look at them properly yet, but I'll reply on the page to any questions that have been raised as soon as we finish the videoing. And don't forget to book your slot. So I know the slots are filling up early. I know Todd rang me on Thursday, I think it was Thursday of this week, and said, "Oh, by the way, Steve, you're coming up on your video foresight is coming up," and I think I must have booked mine back in February, really. So it's quite a surprise to then come through. So I know we're booked up well in advance. So certainly recommend getting yourself booked in on the foresight video slot. It's a little bit daunting, but great fun talking to a computer, and it certainly pushes you out of your comfort zone. I've enjoyed this morning. So 4N TV Live is back here at the same time next week. So that's 8:30 on Saturday, the 12th of August, when you can join Will Bawtry with a foresight titled Phenomenal Reality. So with Will, you'll be able to learn 3 powerful mindset tweaks that help Will to become a master hypnotist as he takes you on a legal reality bending trip. Sounds very interesting. So make sure you tune in then, and we have even more Facebook Live stuff coming up. Join 4N's network leader Michael Nagels back here on Friday at 4 p.m. For his weekly roundup. He'll have a mix of news, announcements and waffling nonsense, it says here, that you won't want to miss. And there's also the new 4 Development Live video presentations, providing great tips on how to develop your networking skills. These are running fortnightly on Wednesday evenings from 8:30 through till 9 o'clock. And on Wednesday, the 16th of August, you can join Kirsty Gray with her 4 Development Live. And Kirsty will be running a presentation, or her presentation's entitled Holy Shitballs. Yep, that's right, Holy Shitballs. How networking really works. How did you start networking? Kirsty has an interesting alternative business and will share her top 10 tricks for not being a twat. Her words, not mine. So if you'd like the opportunity to present an episode on 4N TV Live or 4 Development Live, then message 4N on this 4 networking community page. They are free to take part and are open to all 4N Passport members. Slots are already booked up well in advance, as I said before. They really are booked in. So get your request in now. This 4N TV Live episode will continue to be available to view anytime here. So please share it and add more comments. That's it from me. I think it's slightly early today, but it makes a change to actually be on time. I'm notorious for foresights and 40 seconds running over, so I'm pretty pleased to be actually finishing slightly ahead of time. So I hope you can enjoy your Saturday and the rest of the Saturday and the rest of the weekend, and have a great week. So that's it from me. Hope you've enjoyed the 4N TV Live. Have a great weekend, as I said, and feel free to continue networking right here on 4N Facebook page. Thank you.